today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Nick Foles and the Chicago Bears.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. You see Nick Foles coming out, the MVP of Super Bowl 52, as he will be the one to lead this Bears offense.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell them, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out
and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Now Foles. It's complete. Javon Wims, the open man. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Running for it, Montgomery. A first down and then some for Montgomery. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game.
O'Donnell to kick off portion.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. Obviously, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on 1st down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let them come get the quarterback and dump it off, and there could be some room to roam.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Results in a 4th down.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference. That question becomes, who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
He was covered by Jeff Gladney.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. There's Foles. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Patterson on the carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Ted Ginn, his 4th touchdown on the year, and the Bears will extend their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Vikings, nothing. O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On second down, Cousins again. And that's going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. 4-yard line. They'll throw again. Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Coverage on the play by Kyle Fuller.
Here's Cousins. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And that one makes it 14-7. Pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Foles and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? For a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. On the ground, it's Cook. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is taken at the 18. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Bears take over. Nick Foles ready for the next drive, leads out the Bears. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemish.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
At the 37-yard line.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Throwing again here on 2nd down, this time complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down, Vikings.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Roquan Smith, the Bears' leading tackler last season, makes the stop. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 16-yard.
To throw is Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Cousins. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get it in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he knocks it through. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and
Foles. And he finds his tight end, Graham.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
On second down, Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Cook. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. Foles going to lead the Bears to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught by Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The rookie Jeff Gladney picks it. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there. Well, no surprise there that he got the ball. When you've got 2 touchdowns already, you're probably demanding it in your own huddle. And you can bet this defense, though, is going to be keyed in on him at this point, and they did a nice job stopping him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Cousins to throw it. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Forbath for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates yards and a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Patterson. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman of the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that is incomplete. He had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they take a big, big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at my coach. Why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
At the 20-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And that is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Again, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Makes the score Vikings 24, Bears 14.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Foles got a man open. It's Wims. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Foles. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
It's 4th down.
Well, 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. He'll let this fly deep for Quinn. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. This will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up past the 30.
It's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, it made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
Now a dump off here complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point,
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now a run with Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. Foles and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Now right away, he'll look to throw. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Foles on the give to Montgomery. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On second down, it's Montgomery. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, Patterson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Foles. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this. Football game. They'll run with Montgomery. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Well, they're going to try this. They need 5 full yards to hit the end zone here on 4th and goal, but they're going for it. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.